Hey, everybody. What's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What is shaking on your Tuesday night? Hope you're having a good one. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to fold T-shirts. Oh, yeah. Please like, share, subscribe, notification bell, tweet, all those things that are free that will appease the almighty algorithm. Praise and glory and honor to the name of the almighty algorithm. And then also we have super chats and we have memberships. You can avail yourselves of any of those anytime you like. We appreciate that if you do. But please turn on your gifted memberships because many times people do gift memberships in here. If yours are turned on, you could get a free membership. First remark of the afternoon is Doctor. Hail Tom and chat. Let's go. Hey, StreamYard's being a real. This is saying I have like 1 bar's worth of connection to StreamYard. And I just did a speed test on my computer's connection. And it's rocket fast. So it's a StreamYard thing. So you guys let me know if the picture or the sound's choppy, and we'll deal with it accordingly. Normally it straightens itself out by now. Clearly that won't be occurring in your case. Yes. The doctor says, get a membership. Get a sweet little star by your name. You're darn right. The chef is in the house. That's always nice. Oh, boy, we got so much stuff to talk about. Karen Garvey is a name that I saw on a movie that was on Turner Classic Movies this morning. It was she was a woman who had moved to a big town and met a guy who was a jazz singer, and it's a long story. But Dupa, who's a completely different person, says, what a fun show this morning with Tom and Bob Levy. Great job, Tom. Well, thank you. I always feel like when I'm on with Bob, then I'm not very funny. And I'm not very interesting. I mean, I feel the same way about this show. It's just that I'm not doing it in front of another person. People saying hi, people saying hi, people saying hi, and people saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources. And this connection thing is really bugging the crap out of me. It says connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into a router or Moser. I'm on Ethernet, cowboy. I'm as hardwired as you can get, brother. Brother. I'm as hardwired as you can get, brother. And I just did a speed test on my phone. And the only connection I have on this computer is Ethernet. There is no other available connection. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I guess the only thing I can say is thanks, StreamYard. And you guys are going to have to tell me whether you can hear me or see me or what's going on. You know, since nobody's really saying anything, I'm not going to start chatting in my own chat room. All right, I'm talking to you now. If you can hear me and you can see me fine, put it in the freaking chat. Like now. In the next, 45 seconds. Because if there's nothing in there, there's not going to be a show tonight. And I'm not going to sit here and do a show nobody can see or hear. It makes no sense. Looking like that's where we're headed. For crying out loud. But it's mostly StreamYard's fault. Doc Torn says audio video is good on my end. Okay, maybe I shouldn't worry about it then. But it's mostly their fault. I mean, well, it's mostly bullshit. It's all their fault. It's 100%. My connection here is perfect. I go through them to get to YouTube. So it ain't me. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. God, I'm turning into Stuttering John, just singing at the drop of a hat for no reason. I gotta tell you something. You're gonna learn how to fold shirts today, of course. That's a given. But I have been watching, and I might just make this a whole show. But I've been watching a lot of videos about high altitude mountain climbers. I mean, the ones that climb K2 and Everest and all that. I've been watching a lot of those lately. And all these disasters that happen up there, which to me aren't disasters at all. They're like, what'd you expect? The doctrine says, nope, it's that damn faithless StreamYard. So, and I'm never going to be able to figure this out as long as I live. Let's just take Mount Everest, which, by the way, is the tallest mountain in the world, but it's not the deadliest or most difficult to climb. That's K2. So let's just take Everest. If you want to climb Mount Everest, I can't even believe all the things I'm about to say. You have to get a permit, which you usually do through some guide company. That can range anywhere from $8,000 to $50,000 or $60,000. You have to buy all your own gear and equipment, which again can be because you have to have the very best of everything. It's just insanely best. That's a ton of money, right? Then you have to get to Kathmandu, which that's not, I'll just take the direct flight. No. And then when you get to Kathmandu, then you got to get to the mountain. Then you got to get up the mountain and to the base camp. The base camp is about 18,000 feet, I think. 8,000 meters is when you get to an area called the death zone. Okay. And by the way, as you climb up the mountain from 18,000 feet, you have to do what they call climatization or acclimatization. You climb up and your body has to get used to that new altitude. So you take all of your crap, 50 pounds, 60 pounds worth of stuff, 45, whatever, and you march almost straight up to the next camp, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 feet in elevation. And to get used to the lack of oxygen, because you less oxygen as you go up, you spend 2 or 3 days and nights there to get used to it. So what are you doing that whole time? Freezing to death. You're getting sick the higher you go because your brain swells, your lungs swell, they start to fill up with fluid, all sorts of stuff. Your body is getting less and less and less and less and less oxygen. It begins to feed on itself. You're dying. Most people don't die on the way up. Most people die on the way down. Yay, I made it to the top. And then you die on the way down. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, all these documentaries I have, the people in these tents, If you look outside the tent, by the way, you crap your pants. They're so high in the air, and they're on a. I guess it started last night. My esophagus started to close up, and nobody can carry you down at that altitude. You're so every step, because of the lack of oxygen, makes you so hard. You barely can get your own. Forget it. I don't understand why. I don't know why anybody would do that ever in a million years. This is very true, what Julian Caesar says here. Everest is run by a Nepalese mafia. Better to climb elsewhere and not support the corruption. That is so true. The fix is in, man, on Everest. Mount Everest is a walk through poop and bodies. Yep. Yeah. Green Boots is gone. I guess about 10 years ago, Green Boots just disappeared. And they don't know whether somebody took him off to the side or whatever, or the wind did it, because the wind can do it up there. But Julian Caesar says, they say there's more oxygen in the top cubic meter of seawater than there is in a cubic meter of air at the top of Everest. One of the documentaries I watched, they kept taking those guys' pulse ox all the way up. And without supplemental oxygen, man, you're down to like 40% of the oxygen you normally get. And that's when the hypoxia and the decision-making starts to go out the window. And some of them, they summit, everything's great. And then when they start to get acute high-altitude sickness, it hits them so fast and so hard, they start getting confused. Then they can't walk because they can't mentally, and then they can't physically walk, and then they're done. You just see ya. Suffering from altitude sickness. Sign me up. Yeah. Your lungs fill up with fluid. You literally are drowning, and you're. Randy says, I can't remember his name, but I believe they found some shoes of one of the original men that climbed it. Yes, it was Sandy somebody or other. They found a couple people from the early 1900s here recently. In the last 10 years probably. Julian Caesar says, alpine climbers are some of the most fit athletes in the world. It's no joke. Oh, no, I have no doubt. And the free climbers, who are even dumber. What's that one? El Capitan. Gotta climb El Capitan. It's just a sheer rock face all the way up. There's no crags, and it's just flat. And these people are little nooks and crannies, and forget it. I was thinking about it too. I'm also probably, no, I don't want to do that, because when you're big, when you're tall, doing a lot of that little gymnasticy, it's a lot easier for a little 5'7" guy that's in really good shape to do all those, because you know what I mean. This is very correct as well. Julian Caesar says George Mallory, who was a celebrity back in the day, was recently found. Not only was George Mallory kind of a celebrity, because he was I think he came from money. He was, I think, a teacher for a while, but he was like a British gentleman that wanted to learn how to climb. And on his first climbs, he was climbing with people who were far more experienced. But he just had a real dogged determination about him. While they were going up the mountain, I can't remember whether he became injured or he was sick, but he spent like 14 days in the death zone. in just a little tent. There's nobody there with him. I mean, before he died, and they recently have found parts of his remains, and they know it's his because he monogrammed clothes and stuff. So, Julian Zezer says, Uli Steck, the most decorated climber ever, died on Everest recently under suspicious circumstances. There's just so much nefarious stuff that's going on up there. I mean, the companies doing underhanded things to each other, cutting each other's ropes, doing, it's gotten silly. And it's almost like somebody should establish a maximum number of climbers per season. These ridiculous photos that you see of 100 people nut to butt in a line on that last ridge leading to the summit of Everest, and it's a one-person wide path. And so on the way down, people are going to be hooking under the line and going by each other. It's awful. The Wolf says, Doc, Dupa, Julian, Randy, and Terry. People saying hi to each other. We do have the most cheerful chat room on the internet. Wolf, there's the Wolf being greeted. Julian Zezer says, I became enamored of Everest after reading Into Thin Air by John Krakauer decades ago. Later, it was found out that he fabricated much of the drama in his book and had to be revised. Yeah, I think they did a documentary too, or maybe it was like a documentary, like a reenactment type of documentary. But the Into Thin Air, was that 96? Or is that the 2001? Whichever one it is, I think that's the Beck Weathers escapade, and I think that that's probably the most documented one. There's so much has been done on that one, but now it's becoming a pretty popular topic. So there's been a number of disasters up there, and those are starting to get a little bit more exposure, I guess is the word. I can't, the doctor, and people saying hi to each other. I can't think of anything like worse, personally, than, by the way, we should be streaming to you in lustrous 1080. And I'm still getting this crap, 1 bar from StreamYard. I guess it's okay. I guess you guys would be saying something. There he is. The rumpled trench coat. Always happy to see him here. If you haven't checked that podcast out, you better get on it. Yeah. But, man, I just can't imagine. Do these people have jobs? Because it takes, you're there for months. You get in the base camp, getting used to it, back. Oh, by the way, at every level that you get used to, you have to go back down to the base camp. Maybe as you get to 4, you'd only go back down to 3, but it's up, down, and then you finally get up there. What's the deal with the kid going viral for climbing Everest and shooting video? I don't know. I just watched a video about kids that fall to their death doing climbing before their time, Kids might be physically able to do it, and they may have sort of the aptitude to understand stuff about how to do it. But they don't have the unrelenting discipline of make sure you do that every time. Okay, so Rumpled Trenchcoat say, my stream is in 1080, but my eyes are only in 440. I'm with you. Rumpled Trenchcoat getting some well-earned recognition. People saying hi. I don't know if any of you are aware of this. I know Dupa, who we love to death, is, and who I accidentally doxed earlier. She was there. But I just want to mention that, yes, I was on out of the coffin with Bob Levy today. If any of you saw it, tell me how I did, scale of 1 to 10. Terry says, I climbed a 20-foot ladder yesterday. My wife was rather impressed. Well, it's rather impressive. Did the wife treat you any differently, Terry, after you impressed her with that ladder climb? Kids aminusum anyway. Oh, man. I got the damn chair all jacked up here. I should have. Yeah. Well, I guess we should just get down to cases. Let me tell you, and I don't have any, I don't even need any today, graphics. I don't need any graphics. Here's the steps for properly folding a T-shirt. By the way, this is courtesy of Terry Nee. So the first thing you have to do when you fold a T-shirt, and you're going to think this is, it's way far in advance of folding a T-shirt, but the first thing that you do is when you dry your T-shirts, once they get dry, you need to crank those babies 5 or 10 extra minutes on high heat. If you want, you can put them on high heat from the start. I kind of like to dry mine just like regular heat. And then do high heat for a few minutes at the end. The high heat is what's going to, and I'm talking when you get them out of there, it should hurt your hands a little bit. They would need to be hot. The high heat is what keeps everything pressed. Don't you know? That's what keeps everything pressed. So this is the way that you fold a shirt. Am I going to have to turn my thing off here? It might work better if I do. Hold on here. Virtual background. None. Okay, there we go. Oh, we got over there. Oh, that's just the thing there. All right, so I'll put something back there later. All right, so here is the shirt. You're going to grab it by the junction of that very top crease right here, and where that meets the sleeve. You're going to grab it right yonder. Do the same thing on the other side. You guys have all done this one. This is pretty standard, this one here. Match them in the back. Boom. There's that dumb guy, the ice cream guy. Match them in the back. Pull your collar out like this in the front. Don't just like fold it over. You gotta actually pull the collar out all the way. So you got a rectangle here. And then you just take the sleeves and you fold them over, fold the shirt over in half. So that when you're done, it's going to look, kind of like this. You've seen it. There's a thing on the side here. Boom. And it's folded. And it's there. All right. Right? You know that one. Now, this is for just an everyday like T-shirt. Nothing special. Okay? This is not your fancy stuff. This is everyday. But if you do that burning hot and really take your time and make the creases and pull everything out and really smooth everything out, boom, I'm telling you. Here's the one that some of you may not be familiar with. Let's pretend for a second, because I literally pulled these out of the hamper. It could be any shirt. Let's pretend for a second that this on the front of here, the Indy 11 thing. Let's pretend that that is something that I want to keep from getting creased. Maybe it's really thick applique. Sometimes it's numbers on a sports jersey. God damn it! What the numbers on a sports jersey sometimes is the reason that you do this. In this instance, you're gonna take the front, and you're gonna take the sleeves, and in back, you're gonna fold the sleeves behind the front. Okay? What the hell's going on there? You're gonna fold the sleeves behind the front. You know, like it's got its hands tied behind its back. Then, okay, now that you got the sleeves behind the front, you're gonna just take the top of this. You're gonna take the top of this shirt, right? And you're gonna take the very top part right here. You know, this line right across here, You're gonna take that, and you're gonna fold it right in the middle, and put that top line there along the bottom of the shirt. So there's the bottom of the shirt. I've just folded it in half, right? The sleeve should be inside, and you're done. That's the maximum amount that you fold that shirt. Flatten the sleeves out behind the front, fold it in half. Make sure that the thing that you're trying to protect from getting folded in the middle, like that other way, make sure it's on top when you stack it. Or you'll just have to dig through your shirts and find it. Okay? This way here, it takes up a little bit more room. It's actually the way that makes your t-shirts last a lot longer. That other way is fine if you're just plowing through a bunch of old shirts. But the way I just showed you, that's the way that makes your shirts last a super long time. So there you are. Terry Nee asked me to do that. So Terry, you guys got to thank Terry for this show, because yesterday, I mean, someday people will learn. Don't double dog dare me. Don't trifle with, you know. I'll bust off a show about anything. I think this much is true. We've proven it. I still have yet to see a 1 to 10 rating from anybody on my performance on Out of the Coffin with Bob Levy. Let's see here. People saying hi. After watching so many people fall off ladders on YouTube, I have a new fear of ladders. Well, guess what, Julian Caesar? And you seem to know a lot about Everest, so you probably know this. But there are portions of Everest where they have fashioned together 2 ladders. I mean, just metal ladders. And they've wrapped them together at the end with rope. Let me repeat that. With rope, and made 2 of them stretching over a crevasse where you look down and it's 600, 700, 800 feet. And you got to clunk with your crampons on. You got to walk across that. Then there's other places, as I'm sure you know, Julian, where you're going up, what is this, the bottleneck, or is it the Hillary step, or is it both? You get to places where there's one place where they've got 4 or 5 of these ladders hooked together with rope, and you're 100 feet up in the air on these awful rope together ladders. Who would do that? It makes no sense to me. And you're in the death zone. I don't care whether it's in the water or on land or on a mountain. I don't want to be anywhere called the death zone. It's not a... The wolf says, when you climb 20 feet, were you using fall protection? No. Well, those guys should be. I mean, there's stories of like climbers that are climbing and another climber's coming up on them real fast. Well, you got to realize that when these climbers are going up these, like a ledge, like the side of a mountain, or just up the face, they've got a main line that they're all clipped to. And they're using that line to, get up the deal. If somebody comes up from behind them and wants to go around them, they have to unclip, clip to the other side of that person, and then keep going. Well, one dude tried to get past this girl, and instead of clipping and then going around, he started going around before he clipped back on again, accidentally bumped into her. You're so tired. You're so off balance. You're so starved for oxygen. All it takes. People saying hi. Terry Nee says, crap, my wife is calling me. Shoot, I really wanted to watch this. Terry Nee. Terry, call your wife over to watch it so she knows how to do it too. Damn right. A rare look behind the scenes, and the time was it's just a wall. I used to have a bunch of. I used to have an actual set. You can see those old shows on YouTube, but I used to have a clock and a bunch of other crap back there, autographed 8x10s and things of that nature. That's back when I first got named the certified stone green host by NEAS. I think if I don't know why, but I feel like putting the old CBS News Radio, even though all the people that worked at CBS Radio when I worked there, the vast majority of them are still there. A lot of them, and that's just a crappy place, and in a crappy industry, and it just gets crappier every day. It's I worked there, I think I started in like 2016. When I started working there again in 2020, I don't know when it was, 22, 23, I came up onto the floor. It was like I never left. And by that, I don't mean that I just meshed with the employee. No, I'm talking about the decor and the office itself. Nothing had been changed or replaced. I'm talking down to the tacky Murrow awards on the wall, and the pictures, and the old newspaper articles with. The carpet was the same. It was awful. It's the nastiest carpet you've ever seen in your life. So maybe I don't want that one on second thought. What would I like? What do I want for my background? I feel like Studebaker Hall at Ball State University. That's what I feel like. All right. Doc Torn, that was funny. Dupa says, high heat keeps the collar from stretching. Exactly. Look at this. Look at this. This shirt here. This is a 23-year-old shirt. By the way, I love this shirt. Whoops. Now I just take this off and I don't have to. There you go. There you go. And that's to you in 1080, hopefully. I hope the picture and everything's coming to you okay, man. It's probably fine, and what's malfunctioning is my little indicator here. But it's just a lot of stuff they do that's not really helping. Wolf says, is this the Walmart official method for folding apparel? I don't know. You would know what that is. I don't know what that is. Wolf with the zinger. It hits the target. I don't really buy clothes from either of those places, but if that's the way they do it, I don't care. Fine. They're smart. They're doing it the right way. Tom, it helps to use a flat surface to fold laundry. Thank you, Dupa. I normally do, but for today's, you know what, I don't have a looking down Gordon Ramsay cooking. Let's see. The second one is nicknamed the XJ shoulder fold. Oh, boy. Let's all thank Terry Nee. Let's all give Terry Nee a big round of applause for today's How to Fold T-Shirts show. Julian Zeder says, what's the best way to fold gloves? The middle finger always sticks out in an embarrassing way. I had a guy. Do I have any gloves right here? I have some, but they're in the closet in the hallway. There was a dude I know that used to take his glove off, take the fingers of his glove and bend them down toward the opening for the wrist, and he would fold the wrist opening up backwards over the fingers. And then he would put those in his pockets because they were smaller. His name was Mumbles Mullen. Terry said, I never thought he'd do it. Sorry. Yeah, you guys should start. Dupa says, any other ideas? Tom, can you show us how to vacuum a Jaguar? Well, you know, Terry, if mine had enough dirt in it to vacuum, I'd show you. I have a Nah, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to wait till I got a situation. I'm going to wait till it resolves itself, and then I'll tell you about it. Is my thing open? I just showed you how to fold T-shirts. That was my thing tonight. I had a three-dimensional presentation. Julian Zeder said, there's a vid here on YouTube of a French guy who fell into a crevasse wearing GoPro. It's harrowing. He self-rescues until his buddies find him. Man, there's all sorts of film that they actually have. And then there's a lot of it that they've never released. And there's a lot of it where they stop at a certain point. But there's a lot of it that's out there. And there's this one, I forget were they in I want to say it was somewhere in New Zealand, but I can't really remember. Doggone it. Anyway, maybe it was Mount Baldy. I think it might have been Mount Baldy. These 5 people are going, up the mountain, and they get to a spot where the wind's blowing, snow, cold, the usual thing, and then they had gone over a crevasse, and they keep going, but there's so much snow. The snow had drifted over this giant drop-off. So they couldn't even see it. I mean, and it wasn't like they had good visibility anyway. And the first person fell. Well, you know what happens after the first. They're all tied together. So they're all just hanging in this giant crevasse thingy. And the only thing holding them in there was that the rope had gotten sort of tangled around the last person. And she's in this little burrow and being, constricted like crazy. And but if she doesn't stay there, everybody's going to fall to their death. It ends up they saw them all. They found them or saw them all on this spot. All of them had broken pelvises and ribs and I just sound like fun, man. But you can watch these all day long. It's nonstop. You can watch nonstop mountaineering, scuba diving, cave diving videos nonstop of people who did the wrong thing. Doctor says, I triple dog dare you to do a show on jeans. Rumpled Trenchcoat has shattered today's goal of any amount of money with his $5 donation. Thank you, Rumpled. You're very generous, as always. I think I'm going to start calling my living room couch the death zone, because that's the only way I'm ever going to go into one. I just don't get it. The death zone. How could you even enjoy yourself at the top? A lot of people say they get to the top, and first of all, on K2, the second highest mountain in the world, the one that's more difficult and all that stuff, 1 out of every 4 people that starts climbing that sucker dies. And you get in something called the death zone, and you get to the top of these damn things, and then in this day and age, it's always real busy, so there's people like waiting. There's a line, and you got to get around them when you're going down. I wouldn't think you could really relax, enjoy, take it all in personally, but you're dying. You got to get out of there. Doop-a-doop-a-doo says the Walmart method for folding apparel is nowhere near as bad as the employee team building activities. Don't get me started. It's like where initiative goes to die. I get there early on the weekends, and every employee there is halfway doing their job talking on the phone. And they act like I'm kind of an inconvenience. Ruppel says, it's not a good look when you have plaques on the wall for awards of excellence from 15 years ago. The awards that they had there were the same exact ones as when I worked there, however many years before. What was it? 17, 23, 6 years before. It was the exact same stuff. Exact same people on the air. Stations sounded exactly the same. Like from the 1940s. Really not good. It didn't even sound big and ballsy. It's like if you're going to go old school, news station, right? Do it up. Don't half-ass it. Get one of those guys who that's all he does is he's the voice of big radio stations, It's all he does is the news voice of Dallas, Texas. You're listening to 50,000 watts KRLD. Whatever. When news breaks, we fix it. But they didn't do that either. They just kept. And it's hard to do anything when really you got no money. You can't pay anybody. And the people in charge don't want to do anything different than they've ever done. Can't do that. Well, your audience just keeps, you better do something different. You better figure out something, and I mean damn quick, that people will listen to, because what team building activities, Dupa? Yes, Dupa, tell us of these Walmart team building activities of whence you speak. And is this from personal experience? The Wolf knows all about Walmart. 1080, Bob's birth year. Doctor, hey, stop it. Me and Bob are tight. Doctor said, ain't had any issues with the stream yet. Okay, groovy. Rumple's laughing at Terry. Rumple says his other name was Frostbite Johnson. The guy holding up his gloves like that. Yeah. Some of these idiots go up by themselves. Some of these idiots, it's considered a real big deal if you go up without the assistance of bottled oxygen. And it's like, that sounds just like a really good way to die to me. By the way, we're dealing with brutal cold here. We're dealing with negative 70 wind chill factors. And once you get to that first base camp is at 18,000 feet. The highest mountain in North America is 20,000 feet. So it's way up there and you're cold. So you're just going up there and there's no lodge. You can just sit in your sleeping bag, I guess, if you want, but you never really, the sleeping bag to me is, I've been warm in a sleeping bag before, but it's almost like I've never been the right temperature. I'm always too warm in a sleeping bag. That damn thing cooks me alive, and you're just in there sweating and just, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a lot of fun to me. And there's not a lot of great ways to cook things, and you can't really eat anything but certain things because guess what? It's negative 70. The stuff you bring up there is going to freeze solid. It's just a lot of crap. Coat, his nickname was Fingers. Sounds about right. Randy's okie dokie. I was going to call. I don't know if I'm opening up the phone lines. I might here in a second. I got so many comments to get through. Doctor says she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Julian Zezer says, Tom, people learn all the best safety practices, then do whatever they want anyway. Yeah, everyone caught in an avalanche knew better, but they did it anyway. Terry says, French crevasse, a stylish way to wear shorts with the legs turned up and tucked in at the outside of the the waistband. Done properly, this will give a distinct V shape. Is it crevasse? I thought it was crevasse. Anyway, a fashion tip from Terry Nee. Rumble Trenchcoat says the team building activities are usually folding shirts together. Okay. I feel bad when I see team building at Sam's Club. Seems humiliating. I guess you guys don't know I was a Walmart manager. We never did that. Yeah, the Wolf was a bigwig in a Walmart. And the other thing about it is, the best team building activity I ever went to, well, one of the best. I worked at this ad agency in Indianapolis. It was the first ad agency I worked at. And the owner rented a bus, drove us to Cincinnati, where we went to whatever that racetrack is in Cincinnati. I can't remember what the name of it is now. And he filled that bus up with so much booze. And especially because at the time we had a lot of clerical people at the time. Computers weren't on every desk at the time and all that stuff. So there's a lot of clerical people there and stuff. And that was a big deal for them because not all of them could necessarily afford to take their family, because you could bring your whole family. You could bring your spouse or however many you wanted, to a racetrack and have some fun. I think that dude gave us all $25 to gamble with too or something. I mean, He was a pretty good guy, but we were making a butt ton of money. But anyway, so that was team building. You know, driving down there, watching everybody get hammered, doing the gambling, coming back where everybody's just blottoed. Yeah, that's when you get to know people. It is, Terry Nee. I've done it. Oh, it's humiliating. Yeah. Julian says KYW News in Philadelphia. Sorry, KYW News Radio in Philadelphia still has teletype soundtrack playing in the background during the broadcast. Well, if you're going to go that way, go all the way. Have the teletype. Have the sound of the helicopter. You know? Do whatever you got to do. If you're going to be that, we cover the news wherever it happened. You know, if you're going to be that thing, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, when you're looking for news in Dallas, Fort Worth, and all over North Texas, look no further than team coverage here, whatever it is, then do that. Go that way and go over the top that way. I mean, when people, when your thing plays like that, even people that don't like it will listen to it because it's so, by God, we've got news. But if you're not, then invest some money and get some people to tell some real stories. Yeah, rather than every single place in town tells the same 20 stories every day. Wolf says, that's right in there with playing chicken in cars with suicide doors. Yeah, good times. Dupa says, Wolf, you seem like a person that wouldn't make your employees do humiliating cheering exercises before work. Like, we are Walmart, to the tune of, we will rock you, so we are Walmart. No, I don't think the Wolf... Wolf says, you are right. I never had any crews do that. We just kick butt with customers and sales and keeping the shelves full. There you go. Terry says, I listened to KYW. It was something on. News Radio 1080 KRLD. They're doing news right now, man. Should I snipe them? Let me snipe them. See what KRLD's got going on. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. When news breaks, we break in. What if you're doing the news? I mean, it's always breaking news. Oh, they don't go. I thought they went till. They're only going till 7 now. This is Tuesday. Midday. Oh my God, they only go till 7. Let me see what they went on Wednesday. Wow, they had a big shakeup of some kind. Good Lord, I'm gonna have to check into this. This looks all the world to me like they got rid of staff. I don't know who Joe Kelly is. KRLD Morning News with Joe Kelly. Mike Rogers, who'd been on the air there for 30 years, is now doing middays. Chad Benson show from noon to 3. And then the KRLD afternoon news. What in the hell happened? I guess you can tell I don't listen to that station anymore. I don't want to snipe Will Kane. He's a nationally syndicated guy. Kind of did sports, but then he turned into right-wing, radio guy. He kind of did what Mancow did, only with from sports to politics. Well, there's a bunch of... Meet our new morning host, Joe Kelly. Look at this guy. Joe Kelly returns to Dallas via KRL. This was back in July. KRLD Dallas shuffles Joe Kelly into, well, there's changes. Changes in the lineup. After serving 19 years with Cox Media, Joe Kelly is the new host of the KRLD Morning News. Incumbent host Mike Rogers moves from 10 to noon. Proud to unveil the next phase of KRLD's new look lineup. Man. So the middays were those two hours. Man, but they put that other show. Let me see here. Oh, sorry. I probably shouldn't be doing this in front of you guys. You don't care what's going on. Anyway, it's a crappy industry. Let's see what you guys have to say here. That was weird. Okay. Staff gave them an ultimatum. Either that carpet goes or we do. Well, they got rid of a bunch of other people back in February or something like that. Or May. Chad Benson, controversial, informative, irreverent, and very funny. Are you being serious, Terry Nee? Because I haven't looked into it yet. Well, at least it isn't Mike Guido. And by the way, if Chad Benson is not local to Dallas, and if Chad Benson is not, if he's a talk show, that's, at least it wasn't Mike Guido. Oh, Mike Guido couldn't get hired at KRLD. Oh, man. Yep. The parent company, there's a Dallas Fort Worth version of how Drew Anderson led KRLD to a long form, whatever. Their long form doesn't get anything. Anyway, I got to quit looking at that. I don't really care what they do. They're dying a slow death. They're dying. Radio is dying a slow death. Okay. So, just keep that in mind. They're not doing anything different. I'm old. Terry Nee's old. They're doing the exact same things they did when we were children. There's nothing new. Nothing new. Nothing. Satellite radio, there's some new things. Some. Not a ton, but there's a little, a tiny, a smidge. But over the air, there's not. Terry Nee says, and then there were 7. Are you referring to the number of viewers to the program here today? Terry Nee, hey. Lucas Malago says, indeed. Yes, indeed. Anyway, that's today's show we've got for you. Tomorrow, what did that person say? Let's see, Wednesday. Oh, I got to do this or that. Tomorrow will either be this or that or jeans. The ants go marching 7 by 7, huzzah, huzzah. And then there was 7. I did Bob's show today. I thought that would automatically catapult me to... Whoops. Dupa says, Wolf, I didn't work at Walmart, but my favorite job was unloading trucks and stocking shelves. Manager knew how to hire a hell of a crew. Store closed a long time ago, and we are all still friends. Man, I love that. It's so awesome when you work for like a manager. It's like an awesome manager who knows how to work within the company and protects his department or his area, knows how to hire good people, knows how to solve problems when there's problems. And if somebody gets hired that is a problem, can figure them out real fast and go, hey, we don't do that. That's not what you need to go. And normally that situation is just bliss and awesomeness until that manager gets promoted or goes to another company or something. And then everything goes to hell. The wolf says maybe they could use Skeletors to help turn things around. Well, that's part of the problem. If I'd have gone to that damn station, we'd have been doing all sorts of crazy crap out of the box. I don't want that. That guy wants as much syndicated programming as he can get. And I was like, why would you do that? Radio's local. I don't get it. Marble Trenchcoat says, 7 little Indians chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in half, and then there were 6. Okay. I like that, and then there were none. Agatha Christie. The wolf says, I was in charge of the unloaders as well. Wolf was in charge of everything. Wolf was in charge of giant ice cream cones. He was in charge of everything. God, what I wouldn't do for some ice cream right now. I got these, maybe I'll show them to you tomorrow. I got these Pringles things. They're like combo flavor deals, but they're small. And I thought they'd be like chips. Turns out they're like packing material. They suck. And they say Pringles on them. Terry Nee says, I miss T-shirt folding for some reason. Yeah, it's therapeutic, man. If you put something like a movie or something on TV and do your laundry and just kind of time it out, and okay, this is when the wash is over, so this is when then make sure that, do your drying hot. Man, you just sit there and zip, zap, zip, stack them up. When they're done, you feel like $1 million, like you did something, when you really, it's not that big of an accomplishment. Terry Nee is a funny man. Didn't I ask him a question about his wife? Or what was the wife question I had for him? I can't remember. It's based on something he said about being married all the time. Kim Warfield says, my unloaders from both stores love me because I can unload faster and better than any of them. I work with them as well. Yeah, I bet you make short work of that. The doctrine says, the ants go marching 8 by 8. They stopped for ice cream, and it was great. Well, they obviously didn't have an ice cream guy pulling up in front of their house every day. I got married instead, dumb. Oh, I know what I asked you. Did it impress your wife when you climbed the ladder? Did she treat you? You said your wife might have been impressed, but did she treat you any differently after you accomplished this feat of boomer machismo? Am I a year older than you? I can't remember. Just 3 weeks. Are you older than me? I don't even know anymore. I can't remember. I'm not good at remembering. Hey, tomorrow's hump day. So, what did I say the show was going to be about? It'd be this or that, or that's what it'll be. Wait, that's Dave Matthews. I only want to be with you. She was impressed until he landed on her. She was disappointed I came down. I don't want to climb any more ladders. I'm sorry. I don't want to fly on any more planes. I was talking to my mom about that the other day. I was like, because she's 84. She's like, I'm not. There's no way I'm ever going. I'm like, I don't think I am either, Ma. I really don't. I'm 28 days younger than Terry Nee. And we're both like a year and a half ish younger than Bob, or is it 9 months or something like that? There's a period of time when we're the same age as Bob. I mean, not the exact same, but numerical years. We're the same age for like 3 months or something. So I guess 9 months. He's 9 months older than us. I think you'd be class of 81 for high school, Terry Nee. Bob's class of 80. Well, Bob's class of 80, 81, 82, 83. You know what we don't need to go into it. You know what I'm talking about. No disrespect. Well, kids, I'm looking at that old clock on the wall, and it's telling me, like the Reverend Al Green, I'm going to have to get on up out of here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Well, let's see. Karen whoa. Dupa says, you guys are so old. I was in middle school when you were in high school. Okay, how middle school and high school are we talking about here? Because if you were in 8th grade, that's within, striking distance of a freshman or a sophomore. We're not that old. The doctor says, so there's this rumor that Tom has a 2008 6-cylinder S-type Jaguar. I so do. Bob was too cool for school. Bob was saying there smoking ain't allowed in school, and immediately I got a picture in my head of Bob, leather jacket or whatever that jacket he has that's supposed to be leather is made out of. Him walking down the hallway of a school with a cigarette in his mouth and just the whole boom, bap, boom. The teacher comes and he's in, smoking in the boys' room. Just Bob and walking out of the boys' room, smoke billowing out. The Wolf says, I'm class of 79, the year everything got banned. That was a damn good year, 79. Dupa didn't stop us. Let's see here. I wasn't a thought when y'all was in high school. Wow. Well, you people are young and sprightly. I would say I've never seen Terry Nee in person. But Bob looks 10 years younger than John. I'm assuming I look younger than John. Because that dude looks like he's 70. Kim, yes. 79, when everything got banned. Rumple Trenchcoat said, my school had a smoking section, which, looking back on it, was kind of weird, but it did stop people smoking in the boys' room. Well, if I can, I'll find it. But somebody from my high school actually posted a real picture of the smoking lounge. What they called it, the smoking lounge. There was like 3 of them. We had a big high school, so there was 3 different sides or whatever. And there was one that was the big one. And there's a picture of that. I'll see if I can find it. But no, it was, that wasn't something that the students made up. That was a school-designated, school-condoned, this is our smoking lounge. This is where you will smoke. As a matter of fact, get this, teachers would come out there and smoke too. Oh, yes. There were teachers in our smoking lounge hanging out smoking. Yeah. It was a different time. 1979, the year the parents came, saw, covered their eyes, and ran away. 79, yeah, I think that was that the first or second year? let's see, 79. So I'm 2 years younger than the wolf. I don't want to do the math in my head. Never mind. Jillian said better than teachers hanging out in the boys' room smoking lounge. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you would see teachers bumming cigarettes from students sometimes. Hey, man, you got to... sure thing, Mr. Dixon. And I saw there's that smoke I owe you, whatever. I can imagine if you're a teacher and you're having a rough day, and boy, you can have them in teaching. It happens, believe you me. And a guy, maybe he even quit smoking. And he just finally has had it and goes out there. Hey, give me a smoke, man. Terry Nee says, high school bathroom. Just couldn't get caught with a cigarette in your hand. Yep. Doc Torrance, 79. 8 years later, I'd be born. Man, I used to know those dudes that would smoke around the toilet with the seat up, and one of them would watch, and if a teacher came in, they would stomp his foot. They had a signal where the person would immediately flush the toilet, and then that cigarette would get thrown and just, what are you guys doing in here? Smoke coming out. Smoke coming out. But then again, Terry Nee, I know, remembers this as well as Wolf. I remember going to a concert, and you look up in the top of the concert toward the 3/4 mark, and it was all just blue pot smoke up there. And probably 5 joints got passed to you. No matter where you sat, man, it just would be passed down the line. Oh, here you go. I have a little back there, yeah. They did that now, it'd be on the news. Apparently, the cigarette was passed from concert goer to concert goer. Anyway. Those were the days everyone had a cig. Yeah. Doctor says, I'm not doing a paternity test. Okay, I already did the closing. I don't know why I'm still talking. Let's go over to Shuli's network. Hey, you guys are the most awesome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. More than anything, I do appreciate our lone donor today, the lovely and talented Rumpled Trenchcoat for the $5. That is highly appreciated. Yeah, it was really good. Oh no, Terry Nee, you ever been down on the bayou? Down on the bayou. Dupa says, just a reminder that Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast, has a new episode out. Episode 13, The Most Dangerous Match. Is that the tennis one? Or is that the golf one? Doctor said, that was great. Yes, Dupa, I hope you enjoy it. Terry Nee says, I forget her name. Down on the bayou. The Most Dangerous Match. Is it tennis one? Is Robert Culp in the tennis one? I can't remember. Oh, it's the Chessmaster one. Awesome. I already covered this week. Yeah, you did. But we have a goal every day. So you can't, I explained this yesterday. You can't just say, let it ride for the, okay, here's $5. That's 500 pennies. So I've got it covered until January of 2026. Okay, let me see here. The late, great Lawrence Harvey. Oh, man. Well, it says Creedence Clearwater. I want to know, have you ever seen Lorraine? All right. Hey, there's just really one thing left. And by the way, thanks to all of you who supported me on Out of the Coffin with Bob Levy. I have still to get my 1 to 10 rating from anyone. I think Dupa was there. I think Terry was there. 1 to 10. How'd I do? Terry Nee with $1. And that he is the most consistent supporter that we have here. And thank you, Terry Nee, for the $1. I appreciate that. Dupa says 10. Well, thank you. I missed the show. I'll have to go back and watch it. Doctrine says 7 out of 10. I'm kind of there, too. Yeah, 7 maybe. I need to be a little more wacky on that show. Not a lot, but a little. A little more wacky. Bob makes me laugh a lot. It's hard to stay focused. Little guy's a crack up, all right? All right, that's all I got. Till next time. We'll see you next time. Could we please maybe do my bidding?